Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nathan Kalosa-Kenyon. I'm the founder over here at Kenosa Consulting. I've been operating as a senior analyst in highly regulated markets for nearly 5 years now, notably helping innovation refunds scale to over $6 billion returned to small businesses over the course of 16 months, helping them get tax credits before, during, and after COVID. And since then, I have started my own business and focus primarily on the federal procurement market. Now, one of my flagship products is called FPDS, which is what I'd like to speak with everyone about today. The website is fpds.kenosaconsulting.com if you want to check it out for yourself. Basically, long story short, federal procurement data science is the acronym for FPDS. It's Federal Procurement Intelligence for Government Contractors. Really simple. The idea here is that procurement decisions are made with incomplete context, meaning that the synthesis and analysis that goes into informing a decision that a business will make in government contracting takes a lot of complex analysis to determine whether it's a confident decision you can make. The people who have this ability are rare, expensive, and retiring. Now that's important to know because if you're a small business, large contractor, mid-sized contractor in federal procurement, things are changing rapidly. Agencies are requiring more alignment with their core mission when selecting vendors rather than one-off contracts for a certain need that they have at the end of the fiscal year. Now, I want to go over not only why we built this, but how it's architected so that everybody can understand what it is that we are trying to accomplish. Now, if you are a government contractor, you're very familiar with doing agency research, whether that be figuring out how to align with their mission, finding the best person to contact from a business development perspective, designing your capture plan. All of the information that you're synthesizing comes from very different scattered resources that were never designed to speak to each other, right? So we created a data store with all of this information. I'm a senior analyst. I know where to look. So we pulled everything from USA spending, FPDS, GSA e-buy, every single budget appropriation, every single strategy plan specific to an agency, FOIA reports, prime and sub-recipients, FAR and DFAR clauses, Congress bills or committee hearings related to federal procurement, forecasts, the NAICS and PSC taxonomy. I could go on for a long time, right? And notably, SAM.gov solicitations, RFPs, RFIs, sources sought, award notices, etc. We've also scraped every single .gov.mil website, turned it into a piece of content in a markdown file, and then the next thing that we do with all this information in order for it to talk to each other, the main architectural decision in federal procurement data science is creating a unified embedding space. Now, it sounds complicated because it is. In order for this to work, you have to make sure that you use the same embedding model, that you have proper data cleaning. Now, there's no real such thing as data cleaning. Basically, what that means is you just decide what goes into an embedding and what doesn't. So when you scrape a website, there's all of that HTML crap that you don't need. So you make sure you have stop words, all this good stuff. And then all this information, linguistic information, so words that as humans use to derive meaning from language to make a decision, right? All these things that go on in your brain. You can think of this unified embedding space as all this information that you hold in your brain to make a decision, right? Doesn't stop there. There are two main things that we do after creating this unified embedding space, and that's creating topic models using our proprietary modeling pipeline that builds off of this unified embedding space to derive topics from the linguistic corpus, right? So a NAICS code and a product service code are predetermined taxonomy from the government. They say, this is everything we could possibly buy. And they put a code and an industry code to it. Topic modeling is different because once all of those awards and notices have been posted, RFPs on sam.gov, you derive topics from that linguistic corpus. Now, if you're not technical, you may not understand what that means, but it's basically saying, if I had the best way of describing it, imagine a comment section on LinkedIn. Lockheed Martin posts an award notice, and there are 70,000 comments from government contractors, contracting officers, subcontractors, trying to do business with them. You can't read 70,000 descriptions. Even if you were to read them, you wouldn't be able to say, 2,500 are talking about this. 5,000 are talking about this thing. It groups all of that information and then derives topics from it, right? The next thing that we do is create a linguistic register. That's just a Federal Procurement dictionary. So you can say, how many times does the acronym F-35, which is obviously an airplane, appear across Army, Navy, and Air Force contracts, either on sam.gov or that have been executed? What is the dollar value associated with the F-35? How many NAICS codes are associated with the F-35? Because it doesn't just need repairs and maintenance, it needs to be built. There need to be parts that are manufactured for this airplane. So there's multiple different vendors that participate. So once you have that linguistic register in your topic models, you have the ability to create a semantic engine. Semantics just means meaning, right? So once you know, or you have all of your topic groupings and your linguistic register, you can assign those to everything in your corpus. What that gives you the ability to do now is assign meaning across congressional documents, FOIA reports. So originally, where an analyst may have to look into award data for a month before drawing patterns that they can associate with a strategy plan and then a Government Accountability Office report, we have the ability to do that instantly because we've already predefined the assignments for all of this information. We know how it connects together, right? From there, you can create any GovTech product you want. You can create a proposal writer that has agency-specific language in it. And if you're a GovCon, you know the difference between a boilerplate proposal and one that actually aligns with the agency's mission, right? So there's a big difference there. You speak their language. You can create a chatbot, which I'll be showing you guys a couple queries from today. You can create strategy plans. You can create a BD strategy. You can create a RAG pipeline, what have you. But we're not stopping there. We have a larger vision, not only for contractors, but to sell to the government on how they can audit their procurement activity, and also in an academic sense, so data researchers can see how federal procurement evolves over time. That's in this gold question mark thing. Can't talk about that today, so I'm going to pivot to this very light chatbot that we've built on top of our data store. This is the FPDS chat. Now, I've queued up a few queries for you from our deep research engine. Now, I'm going to allow the audience, I'm going to show, not tell. You guys will know why this is useful and how it is different, right? If you've ever used GovTribe before, it has a chat. Their chat does not work like this. Their chat does not pull from strategy plans, budget materials, procurement contacts. They're only focused on executed awards. So award money that's already been spent or solicitations on sam.gov. Everybody has those. They're also not building a linguistic register, and they're not doing topic modeling. So they can't give you those granular patterns that really help you make decisions. So, for example, I said, who are the key contacts at DHS for cybersecurity? Not going to go over the whole thing for you. If you want, you can pause the video and look for yourself. But it'll give you all this contact information, all their phone numbers, how many cybersecurity listings they've posted, how many opportunities they're managing. It'll give you all the personnel at the agencies that you're looking to do business with. You can ask follow-up questions about what contracting officer is spending on, their opportunities. It'll show you the queries that it used to the DB to answer your question. Here's another. What has the Government Accountability Office said about Army missile defense? Well, in order for a human being to know that, they would have to know what the Government Accountability Office is, why it's important, and then do a search for all the relevant documents. Not only do you have to do a search for all the relevant documents, but once you have them, you have to read it. So I've chunked and embedded every single one, put it into our pipeline, and now you have the ability to just surface the actual important bits from that document in this chat, right? It's not only giving you what accountability office reports, and if I wanted to, I could take this, copy, paste into my Google search, and it's going to give me this report, 40 pages, right? This is where it's pulling its information from. So, you see that, I just copy and pasted it. If it's going to give you a sam.gov link for something, you can post those in sam.gov too. It'll show you the award that it's mentioning. But it's giving you all of this information, where it queried, what topics, what NAICS codes are pertinent, what agencies it pulled from, right? So, here's another one. Very complex question, or simple question, but requires complex synthesis. What type of contractor should pursue USDA in 2026? You'd think that that's a simple question. That's the type of question a CEO asks. Trust me, I've been operating around executives for years. They ask very simple questions, but they require very complex analysis. So, shoot, here you go. You can look through this yourself. I'm not going to do too much more explaining. We show you the year-over-year growth. We show you the concentration of these agencies. We tell you what certifications the agency's friendly to, what type of active RFPs there are, what type of vehicles they award through. All right? The set-aside distribution. So if you're an SDVOSB, probably not going to see too much business in this agency through your set-aside. Right? They'll show you the market concentration. And again, I want to be very clear about this. This is not the IP. The chat is a surface level product that anybody could build on top of what nobody else can put together, which is this. And this is a very simplified version of what we're doing, just so that I can explain it in this brief demonstration. So, without more being said, you can hit me up. N, first letter of my first name, Kalosa-Kenyon at Kenosa-Consulting.com. You can also visit our website at fpds.kenosa-consulting.com. I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, and I'll be having a invite-only beta tester demonstration for people who are interested in getting their hands on this brand new innovation that we've put together. So, that'll be the end of it. Thank you very much for watching. Look forward to hearing from you guys soon.